Yo, what's up? All right. So today we're going to be trying to dual stream for real this time. And with that said, we're going to be doing Genshin Impact Story because it's going to be chill and will allow me to just monitor everything a little easier. Just check everything is good real quick before we get into it. Okay. How's everybody's Wednesday going so far? Good? Are you not sure? Um, Mine's fine. Nothing too crazy happened. I just had an appointment. I made the thumbnail for the deadly assault and got that uploaded, and I'm working on the 3-week challenge for Hunky Starbucks. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do this real quick. Fill some time letting people fill in. Come on in. Wait, did Twitch or did the bot? Oh yeah, that's not so bad sometimes though. I think that's a good thing sometimes though. Sometimes I forget what this game sounds like because normally I just have it muted while I'm just doing shit on off stream. So what's up, Mage? How's it going?
Burn it down! Quick as a flash! Let's move! Hands where I can see them! Drop your weapons! Final warning!
There we go. This team isn't very well built, so it's gonna be a little slow. You.
Light it up. Controlled breathing. Let's move.
What do you mean by that? Like just design-wise? I'm still not used to this team. I can see that. Yo, what's up, Art? They use new resources. Yeah, they each. Ooh, no, it's bad. How am I supposed to pre-farm with bad relics? Although I should be farming boss materials and shit first. Oh well. Yeah, no, I do like that they have a layer they have a layer of depth to them now. But it's really just like, oh, you push a button, they have a meter. Push a button, they have a meter. Push a button, they have a meter. So, like, it's added depth for sure. But what they've done to compensate that is they've made, from what I've heard, I don't remember the fights. Oh, there's a boss that you can fight. It's this guy right here. It's a Papilla. I'm not gonna try saying that first name. That you have to use those skills, like it's called using Night Soul points. Just a reminder, this is the only character in the game that has butt physics. Just a reminder. There's only so much they can do, because that they did try changing something with New Valette, and they ended up having to walk it back. I don't know if it's a legal reason for sure. I'm not gonna say that's definitively the reason, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason. So this is gonna be my ice team, or my freeze team. New Rio will be replaced with Skirk, and Charlotte is just, if I lose the 50-50, I'm not gonna pull for Escoffier, and I'll just use her and save the guarantee. Do we use Clorand or Arlecchino for the story? Do we use mommy or daddy? That is the question. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying, actually. A lot of people have said that. I feel either way they're both gonna suck because their builds aren't the greatest. But she's easier to use. Just check how this stream is doing on YouTube. I should do some exploration because that's free free stellar or primo gems. Oh, I should double check my pity because I'm pretty sure I'm at 6 or 75, but I could be wrong. Oh, I'm at 74. Okay. I don't know how she plays in Impact 3. I don't mind how she plays in this game, to be honest. She's just kind of a set it and forget it character, and she just does the thing. I think that's helpful in this type of game, or in these types of games. But Genshin just does that a lot. Like, Mavuika can do that. Fischl's whole game plan is that. Yai Miko does that. Kuki does that. Or Kuki does that. Farina does that. Yao Yao to an extent does it. Shincho does it with his burst. Only need those 3.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Raiden is my girl. She is the most invested character in my account.
I can
But
tell,
she's still not
judging
very
by
good
how
yet.
early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now
There
is
is
the
this
perfect
one
chance for us
jank
to take you to the
meme
best
team
seats
that
in the
I've seen
house.
people play where
Wait
it's
just a moment,
Mavuika,
I'll fetch the tickets.
Raiden, Farina, and Nahida. And it's basically, or no, it's Zhongli, Farina, Nahida, Raiden. And it's basically just, you use all of their skills and then you just turn the game, and then you just take set the controller down.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Lenny.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be right there.
It's,
Seems there's an issue with the
I mean, but that's
over
just
there. That's Cal,
quote
my
unquote
assistant.
optimized hyperbloom. It's optimal in the sense that you're not using your, like, you're not physically doing anything when you're doing that. But that's also just an exaggeration. Like, that you're not beating content with that. It's more so just, you do it just to show people that you can. Yo, who that? Oh. Oh!
These should be our seats.
It's Nouvellette.
Come on, let's sit down.
It's Ray Chase. You have Mona Hole?
Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since there's...
Nah.
You little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it. Paimon's... Sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So, let's talk, but, what should we talk about?
Let's talk
Paimon,
about how
got
you
it?
need to shut up.
You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
He seems way
So
too
you're
casual
not
from what I
friends with
expect from
Linny,
him.
then. Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Wow, you
We
wouldn't
just
say.
arrived in Fontaine.
You hear that, chat? Paimon is in fact Paimon. I thought Paimon
It is
was
an honor to meet you
Zhang
two.
Li
I have
or
heard of your deeds across Teyvat. And as required by proper etiquette,
who else
I
would be
will
a funny
also
answer?
introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you
Nervillet?
here to see my show.
No, it's Nouvelet.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in
He-
fact
they're
an
the
honor
ones
for
saying it
me
wrong.
to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be?
They speak normal, like have a quote unquote
I
regular
saw you
accent.
all chatting just now.
Everybody
but
hates
it seems you
Paimon.
still don't know who Monsieur
And the last
Nervillet
like 2
is.
months have not
Allow
done
me to
Paimon
introduce
any
you to
favors.
Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has
They
their
really
usual
do.
reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you
Honestly,
know,
I think
even though I would prefer not to.
Hoyoverse should going forward implement a skip button, but also give people the option to rewatch the cutscenes, like any of and all dialogue that's like story related. Just like how Zenless Zone Zero does it. Like they have a skip button, but you can go back. You can go back and watch any cutscene you want. I love that.
There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
Well,
I
it's that
believe
one
she's
weird
trying to
lady.
give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
That looks really uncomfortable just sitting there like that.
Huh?
But so does that laugh.
Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the
She's
show.
like, all right, you can ignore her now. You've acknowledged her.
Huh?
You can just
So
ignore
is
her.
this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Wait, is this like an actually running cutscene?
they're giving
No, it's
the
not.
lights.
Never
The
mind.
show must be
I expected too
starting.
much.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette,
Epiclese.
who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a
I
little
heard that she
sleepy right
apparently
now, but
pretends to
that's
be a
just
robot
sign
or
that she's
something.
nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today.
And that's the first trick.
Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on
Zenless
stage
does that too.
momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected
Zenless and
way.
Wuwa do that.
I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
Oh no, we blinked.
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
They really should. Okay, this stuff is like really cool, and I've always wanted to try magic.
These little
Like honestly,
you've seen them all before.
but I also like
So
don't
it's
care
time
enough
for
about magic to
something
try it.
truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky.
Where do they hide the pigeons
Using this water
or the
tank,
doves?
I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
Yo, Clorand, best character in Fontaine. Like how she had to do the little twirl.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air
True,
bubbles
they're
and
just
float
alchemists
right out
with
of the top.
philosopher's stones.
Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Oh no, she's naked. Uh-oh.
Lynette, are you still there?
Uh-oh.
Too
I
far.
thought this game
We
was
don't wanna use
PG-16.
up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
See, and that's where it cuts to the hub logo. Okay. I mean, it's a magic performance. All relatively normal stuff to see in that.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't seem to do anything. Wasn't Lynette inside the water
Thing,
tank?
chill out. It's not even that serious.
And then reappear out of nowhere.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate
True, real
magic,
talk.
you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun.
Whoa,
I've
that
prepared
was just the
even more
prologue.
astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
Whoa, it's a cat in the hat.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time
Okay.
to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
Karina's probably
if my
freaking out.
assistants could
Pick
bring
me,
out
pick
the
me.
magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all
It's
magic
magic.
tricks?
Paimon,
Or
shut up.
does
It's
he have
magic.
Actual
Let him
superpowers?
cook.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random.
RNS.
Even I don't know who
RNG
chosen
was
to participate.
copyrighted.
Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please
Whoa.
come forward.
A whopping
My assistant
60
will take you
seconds.
inside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh,
What's that?
okay.
Don't give me places I haven't been to.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks
Okay.
now. If you quickly count from
Okay,
60 in
Boomer.
just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59.
I'm not doing
58.
that, sir. 60, 59, 58. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. You can't get me to
That's
do
right,
that.
perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Neuvillette?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Paimon needs to just leave people
You
alone.
looked so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39, 38!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
That would be suspicious.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
One sec, I'll be right back.
24! 23! What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the
All right, I'm back.
decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19! 18! 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10
Yeah, buddy.
seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10,
Almost there now.
8,
Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey,
This
wait,
does look.
Is this the back one? I can't
But I
tell.
wanna
They
know
both look the same inside.
What's actually going on with the story?
That's not it. I'll try again.
This is just fluff. I don't want
Hey,
this fluff.
slow down. Honestly.
5, 4, 3,
Whoops. That doesn't count.
0.
Ta-da!
Reno really is just a little kid. Now who's in the box? Oh no. Not the metaphorical anvil. Oh wait, that was real? I thought that was a part of the bit. I thought that was a part of the bit. I didn't.
Is this part of the show?
That's what I assumed.
You're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh,
Dude,
no.
that's sus as hell.
Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is
knows?
over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
But Farina isn't involved with any of that, right? Like, why is she acting as if? Well, I guess she's the Archon. That's why she's acting.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His
Well,
name was
oh.
Howard, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently,
No.
the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now,
I didn't
we are
know
still not
people
sure
actually
why
died
they
in the
found
story.
Howard
That's
in the
crazy.
box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
Uh-oh.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
Interesting.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale, did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole
Enough with
speech
it,
about
is he
magicians making
not?
things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
All the shading.
Can't be right.
The shading looking kind of funny.
He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's
Uh-oh.
gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping
Uh-oh.
and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
Farina, why would you say that?
Of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Lenny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
Did we though? No, for real, I don't
But
remember.
with
It's been a
Lenny's
while.
help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand.
Real and true.
Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
I'm not willing to act as my own attorney. What the fuck?
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth.
Dude, this is ridiculous. This is not what I signed up for. I just wanted to watch a magic show, not become an attorney.
The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Lenny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? I understand. Even I'm not sure what happened, so I can only imagine how difficult it is for you to grasp the situation. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know
That's
whether
true.
what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off and...
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Not the glasses with the mustache. Why does Paimon look better with those on?
Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy
It's just
them.
an
It wasn't
objective
from our travel
improvement to her
funds.
design.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon. You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, just leave it to us.
Alright, guys. We're playing Ace Attorney now.
Start investigating. Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose
Yeah,
you're
at this
right.
point, it doesn't matter.
The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case! Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you.
It is
I've
I,
always
the
been
Ace
mixed
Attorney.
up in this whirlpool of a mess, if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm already determined to be his attorney.
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cowell. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and we're unable
How do you
to find
draw
any
that with
traces of
water
the
on
rope.
top of it?
However, if you
What I
look
wanna know.
carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical
because they want you to
explanation is that
really
the
get
whole
into
incident
it.
was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
I haven't played the game in so long.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So
As
in just a
in
short time, he was not
since
only able
today?
to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand.
True.
I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Man.
So this is the rope. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
It's a
Why are
great
you
question,
suddenly so
Paimon.
serious, traveler? Whoa. Look!
Whoa.
This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait! Paimon should write all this down. Let's take notes.
Special rope. Okay, we talked to Esmond. Now I gotta investigate Maurice,
What are you in
the most suspicious guard.
Seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's... Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will put... Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently,
Halsey,
she
like
wasn't
the
a regular
singer?
at the Opera House. But she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The magic troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Sounds about right. That's always how it goes.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
Yeah, I mean,
it is of utmost
it would help
importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Okay, so we know who the missing person is. Oh, that was a leap.
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new...
We don't have to...
I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
I just want to progress the story.
The results of Lenny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid it much mind. But now... I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water, and when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water to...
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't... Oh, that's true.
That does remind...
Okay.
Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone... Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone...
Oh, this is still inside the opera house?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
It's Navia, the umbrella lady.
Huh?
Isn't she like a mafia boss too?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns.
Oh, look at that outfit, the low res.
No. And by the looks of it,
You know, I almost got her, but then Mrs. Pond wanted
Who are you?
not Nahida. It's adult
Have you
mommy.
never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
The Bloomcore lady.
I'm Silver,
when they both
Protector.
were rerunning
Pleased to
together.
meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well,
Wait, who's that?
I'm the second generation president.
Let me look it
Melus
up.
and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
Oh.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia.
Oh, that lady.
Okay.
Dude, Navia's cool. I love her gameplay, actually. She's really cool.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, that's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things,
When she first came out, I did try and go for her.
We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
I know she's not worth it because right now for me because I would rather Skirk.
My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
She's whimsical.
Well,
I wouldn't trust that either when it comes to legal proceedings.
She can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right.
Real and true,
I've answered your
Navia.
question. Now it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
I like how all the characters look like their respective element. Pyro characters wear a lot of red. Geo characters wear a lot of
Do you think it's right to treat a
yellow
trial like it's an opera?
or gold or brown, like just shades of yellow. Cryo, they wear a lot of blues, same with Hydro. Dendro, they wear green. And Electro wears a lot of purple. And
why would that be?
what's Animo? That's the one. Wears a lot of green.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Usually, not always, but
Most
usually.
astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. Then if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
We went from lawyers to assistants.
Become assistants.
I'd rather be her assistant than be an attorney, I'm gonna be honest.
I can be
Like,
the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, all right.
of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks. Thanks!
Right, it's super weird.
Sorry. Were you always got
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the... So, the missing girl couldn't have left... I doubt.
How can you be...
Well, I couldn't see Linny's, but still, we militants.
I mean, it is quite common even in...
This will be useful info.
Right, yeah, exactly. He even has fire in his kit though, so like, he should totally be fire. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm assuming I have to go up here. Oh. Where do I need to go? Oh, right here. It's specific to this, but yes.
Investigation team has...
See, I told...
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping...
This is just for the specific situation.
You're trying to help them? That'll...
Lenny used the machine. Well, we thought...
It turns out that the seat number... Bird picked wasn't... I'm sure you already... In other words...
That much
Let's just see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lenny.
Even though it's bad for Lenny's case,
Yeah.
Paimon had better write it down.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. All right. Random number selector. I think that's everything we can get.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue.
Okay.
Paimon wonders how Lenny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting.
Understood.
That's so funny.
Just so
Oh,
you're
just,
aware,
let me just
I'm
ride my
monitoring
flaming
reactions and making
motorcycle
notes
in
as
a
necessary.
theater.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
He really is.
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
She really does. She has a umbrella.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by
Navia is peak. Every time she's available,
I would be most
she's American. What do you mean? She's Fontainian, dude.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
True. Preach.
I appreciate your kind interest.
If I could get her, I would.
We'll be heading below
But, you know, free to play for this game, so. She's honorary American. Yeah, because she has a umbrella.
A world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box.
Her burst or her
specifically
ultimate
for this
is just her
switcheroo
shooting a bunch of
Before I
cannons.
reveal everything, you should
That's
have a look
okay.
first.
Okay, I see what
Notice
you mean.
anything strange here?
Hey, I don't see. It's just a
I'm
box.
not trying to be dramatic.
Never mind.
Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to.
My mom
catch
didn't
that,
notice because
given
she's
that you
too
were
busy
sitting in the
posting
first row.
TikToks next to a
The
toilet.
back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go.
There's a box
I'll tell you
inside of
how
a
it works
box.
as we head down.
That's peak game design.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley?
Smash Legends for Soul.
The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend
It's a
after the
box
audience
inside
member
of a
was put
box.
inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Wait, do you mean Soul
Once
bad
the
guy?
box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The
Okay.
audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right. You were talking
Oh,
about the
okay.
whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
Why? Why Brisket? At
My
least make
assistant
it
and I had
Piken.
already
A
scripted
good
our
character.
conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
Oh.
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting.
That's how we were able to coordinate
Unintentionally.
lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
Piken and
We
Elfelt are
are
based.
twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So they like cross-dress or something?
That's how it all works.
Not that I have a problem with it, but I just want to make sure I understand.
You revealed was more amazing than the last.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone.
We don't know
We're
that.
counting on you.
Yeah, because they didn't use their visions. Basically, the thing that lets them use magic. Per se.
Oh, her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
They took her clothes off before kidnapping.
Right.
Visions suck, boo. I don't know. It's an interesting gimmick, but also kind of weird. I like the aspect of a path strider more personally. That's what we're trying to figure out. We don't know.
The end of a rope.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Was a prop for
Whatever it.
They're like, I only steal naked people, apparently. They
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Whoa, the floor is wet. That's crazy. I thought this water was dry, man. Holy crap. Thanks for telling us that, Captain Sherlock looking ass.
One of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to. And here's a broken vase.
that can't be.
Let's.
It's a vent.
What is this place?
It's a crew member. They're venting.
Seems someone could fit through here.
Alone, perhaps.
I'd have to turn off all voice acting.
You're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Paimon is more tolerable in Japanese, but
Done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up.
Among Us. There is a kidnapper among us. Dude, we didn't even see him venting though, so we can't even call an emergency
We've
meeting.
ascertained the state of the crime. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't.
Yeah, why are you giving him shit? I'm the one saying I'm the one saying he vented.
For the wait, demoiselle.
Although I'm not, it's not my fault that he actually vented.
Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent lead. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the base.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance.
Just like
and
the
Kyle's
Natlan
death.
characters.
Both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
That's true. He's just a crew member.
Are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice...
You're gonna say the thing.
Will hear
You can't say Venti is hot. I just respectfully, strongly disagree.
Is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses...
They gotta say the thing.
Testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not
That's true. You wanted me to do a 10 poll on Venti when I got Realsley.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the oratrice as a reference. Then, finally,
Just say the full thing.
The oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neuvillette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
This is true.
Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
With her umbrella.
Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Alright, guys, hear me out.
Wait,
Let the dude
you're
cook.
carrying a portable stove with you?
No, you can't simply carry. That's not portable. That thing is at least 500 pounds.
Baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Why are you carrying eggs on you? They're probably
Good
disgusting.
work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Yeah, but to keep them on your person? Oh, they're macarons.
Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
I was smiling. The other one was clapping.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your
Yeah, but do you think
fingers
they
dirty
have
eating
wild
egg whites and
eggs?
baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
And shooting stuff with her
Underestimate
umbrella.
eating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
What do you mean only 3? Those things are huge.
Treats might send all that sugar to your head.
Okay, but I feel like Fontaine is civilized enough to have
Tea is ready to be
a
served
farm.
as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite.
Yeah, those things are a fucking... Those things are the size of a Big Mac. Those are just 3 Big Macs. And you're complaining about... Dude, those things probably weigh more than you, Paimon. Right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, those things are massive. Imagine... I don't know. See, that's not the first time I was asked that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Dude, that's so crazy. She's complaining.
As I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it.
I want to see where the fuck they're storing that he just carries it on his person.
Twins could have committed the crimes, of course.
That's the shit I need explained now.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes,
His
and
natural
her
back
abduction.
pocket, where he's carrying a...
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd,
Dude, shut the fuck up. Oh, no. He is not putting an oven in his ass, bro.
True.
You cannot convince me that that's where that is.
But the only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's the missing girl,
Yeah.
or poor Cowl.
Yeah, where do they put the oven? Because he just carries it around. I don't care about this murder mystery. I want to know where he puts the oven.
That's right.
Okay, the eggs, I would be willing to accept that.
Understand the entire trick to pull it off.
The eggs, for sure.
Lord said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search?
Dude, like, I really want to care about this murder mystery, but I don't even want to be an attorney anymore. I just want to know where the fuck that oven goes.
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
How did she have...
5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest.
You ate 5?
Please don't worry.
Macarons?
At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
Yeah, but when you're fat, it's like you see less.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon?
No, I don't. You complained that 3 was too little.
If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
I don't, she just put them on. Like, not, she just put them on and was like, I read a book, and then quotes the book.
Set up the stove again if you would.
Okay, show us where he gets the oven.
Make making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course?
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
I know. They're just repeating themselves. Not gonna lie though, the Groucho glasses are an objective improvement to Paimon's design.
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet.
Honestly,
but
yeah.
we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over again.
Dude, I don't think over the case. I am a heart-based lawyer. I've got the powers of God and anime on my side.
If you got all tongue-tied
And by God, I mean
during
Shogun.
trial.
Right in Shogun.
Alright, thanks for your help and for this.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I want to know where the oven is. I'm not even thinking about this case. I want to know where the fuck the oven went. I hate this. This is not Skyrim. I should not have to wait for shit. No, too off.
Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
I would rather be unemployed as a lawyer. I am ready. Some might. I don't know. I don't. I just wait.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confused. Good plan.
Should I read it? Ah.
Just relax.
I think we got this.
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very...
One second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some super water.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Of course, when I walk away. Of course, I walk away.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Imagine buying a battle pass. Couldn't be me. Just don't look at my main star row. and send this on
You
zero
ran
count.
to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
But how do we prove that?
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
Okay, but what's your
That is
proof
simply
for
your
that?
hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Exactly.
Is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
Honestly, yeah.
Tell me,
The short shorts with the
actually from
the
the
garter
House of the
thing.
Hearth?
Yeah. Our dad is Arlecchino.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
Bro, that's so
What
lame.
happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Come on, Farina. Why are you like this?
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute.
He was in a box.
Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
I always think it's so weird that her pupils are just water drops.
Oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny.
So she has no proof for any of this. How are they doing this? Like, this is just purely a court of public opinion. Because Farina says something, everybody agrees with her.
Mr. Linney, allow me to reestablish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms.
It's not a
Lynette
fact,
are
you
both
can't
members
prove
of the
it.
House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
Me too, I thought she did. I could have swore she did.
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
It does, actually.
Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do?
Bro, chill out.
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order!
Your mom, shut up.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even
Dude,
after
I don't know what the
knowing
heart
you
of
do
the
now?
home is.
You certainly have
That means
more
nothing to me.
professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that, actually.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two.
Honestly, worth it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
On the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry.
Wife is temporary. Farina is forever.
Please.
Or
let me
waifu
explain.
is forever.
I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was doing this one fight, like weekly boss fight thing, in this for that Skirk might need, and it has a situation where you have to cause a lot of freeze reaction, and I had to bring out my very badly built Rosaria to do the fight. Because otherwise, it just one-shots a character, and obviously you have to wait a minute and a half in between revives.
I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works
I got
as
the
a
job
magician,
done, but
a
it was
trickster by
rough.
trade. All by coincidence, too. But
Rosaria
still,
was
I'm asking
putting
you
in
to
so
trust
much
me.
work.
I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right, let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to
He vented!
investigate
He's
room in which core
He's
is
the imposter!
That
Okay,
airlift was
okay,
created during
Judge, you're
construction
right.
of the
He's
tunnel
guilty. He
specifically to
vented.
execute this
He
step.
admitted it. Get his ass. Get his ass. He vented.
Well,
Imposter confirmed.
nothing.
Among
As
Us.
soon as I reached that room and
Yeah,
was about
this
to
Sosi
investigate,
Baka looking
I heard
ass.
someone's voice.
With those. I knew you couldn't trust somebody with those shorts.
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales
Yo,
are
I really wish
against you two.
Lynette was good. She's really cute. I like her design.
We're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
I did use her for a while, if you remember, Ark, when I first was getting back into this game.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Quest isn't over yet? That's so annoying.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Honestly, yeah.
Ugh, that took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention.
No, I can't.
Let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Oh no. No. Okay. Alright, guys. We got this.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that finally he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent
I think
recognizing
knocking her out with that huge ass vase would
At this time,
do more than just knock her out.
in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowl's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind.
Does the defendant's side have any?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced and what he saw.
Okay, so the loophole, like, it's gotta be this, right? Yeah, it's gotta be this.
According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel.
He vented, yeah.
He couldn't have had that
You can't
altercation
vent
with Halsey.
and kidnap somebody.
Linney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
I need them to say the Oratrice Mechanis something cardinal. I really need them to say it because I kept seeing Ray Chase's meme, or like his where he made like a song of it, like a little clip, and it was just stuck in my head.
Linney did not take part in the underground altercation.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linney did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the and the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Yo, we did it. How come this one handholds you in the debate, but Star Rail doesn't? I want my hand to be holding when I'm being forced to debate people.
Paimon did it. Paimon actually managed to say all that.
Okay, and I'm a goo goo gaga ass baby when it comes to talking to people.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right.
Like, I don't like arguing with people. I just want to sit here and look at hot anime women, okay?
Entered the tunnel. Who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
I'm actually really happy she has the glasses on still. Paimon is such a better character with them on.
And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Yeah.
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent.
Yeah. Imposters are quick to vent.
His alibi has now become the best proof. How do you like that?
Well played.
Like I said, I hate Paimon,
You'd use such logic.
but the glasses are kind of working right now.
If it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Oh God. I have to come up with, If Linny is no longer under suspicion, the only other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the plan. Linny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using the box inside of a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member transported via a tunnel underneath. And Linny himself would also use the tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of onstage. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown.
Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person. The deceased's name is Cowl. Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience. The deceased's name is Cowl.
Whoa, I'm so smart. I pressed the button that it told me to press. That's crazy. I'm such a good lawyer. See, man, you had no reason not you had no reason to doubt me. People can hire me as a lawyer. I figured that out all by myself. Like an intellectual.
Is that so? How interesting. Let's hear your reasoning then.
Your mom gay. That's the reasoning.
Is recreate the truth. What Cowl did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one one entered or left the Opera House through its entrance. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the Linny was not in the tunnel at that. It would have been tough for... No one entered or... The deceased's name is Cowell. Halsey's clothing was in the deceased's name is
No!
Halsey's clothing was in the sound we heard may have... It would have been tough for both people to... No one entered or... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. No one entered or... No one entered or... The sound we heard may have...
Okay.
It would have been tough for... Halsey's clothing was in...
No, come on.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having...
I see how it is.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a...
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient?
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Take that.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave... The sound we heard may have come... The deceased's name is The vase was not broken.
Haha. Take that.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person
Bro,
ever be transformed
turning into water is the least preposterous thing that could happen right now.
trick?
Listen to yourself.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Why haven't they looked at his stuff
I believe that
already?
this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times.
Yo!
One of these tubes was labeled.
And she thought that was
at the pledge,
preposterous.
along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl, wait just a minute, could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Damn.
It is undeniable that further
He has
examination
Welch
of
Cane,
the
but
deceased's
blue.
personal effects has yielded
And
some
not as
surprising
cool.
results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you,
Isn't
Your Honor.
Nouvelette a dragon? Like one of the
If we
dragons
uphold this hypothesis,
that
I believe that many
each of the
these cases
archons
seemingly
have,
unrelated
kind of like the
clues can be
Hershers.
connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have
Although I
something
think it's
to
not
do with
that they are
water from the primordial
like
sea.
they don't need, or they get power straight from Celestia or some shit.
The deceased's name. The water from the The rope that held the water tank up. Lynette was in the magic box.
Oh.
Now it seems like the hook. I remember there was something. The water from the Lynette was in the magic. I remember there was. The water from the
Haha, I did it. First try, boys.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan,
More like
Cowell
Ace
would tamper with the
Defective.
water tank
That's a
rope,
Persona
and
3
the number
reference.
selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That
Truth is
actually
sometimes
links
stranger
together
than
a
fiction,
lot of
I
more
guess.
confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowell's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the—
What? That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
No.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end of the...
Nah, I got this, homie.
Oh no.
Believe.
Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again?
Okay, but where did he put the oven?
Wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance?
That's the real question.
Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rosula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But as the magic makers and stars of the show,
I understand.
And voila.
And voila, I am a magician.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
that'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Of course, those Mondstadt folk.
Be a real thriller, but I missed the
I was watching Eeks earlier, and I saw that he was playing the new story, and apparently somebody else gets accused of murder.
And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you looked familiar. So you were the thief! Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Interesting.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it.
I mean,
known that, I
she
wouldn't have
didn't
put him in the
directly
magic
kill
box.
him, though,
I may be a
right?
thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes
But you just said you killed him at the beginning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
All right, it is my turn.
The strange... The flower... Lily-Ann...
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
You mean Ace Defective?
Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved. He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lily-Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily-Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk
All right, we got this. But again, where did he put the oven? That's the real mystery that needs to be solved here.
She would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses.
Damn, Paimon isn't a fat ass.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Mage, we were wrong. She's not a
Now
fat
then,
ass.
Lady Farina,
Just a
you wish to
dumbass.
speak against the defense's statements. Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now?
Right?
No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Right? I mean, she is always asking for food, so she's still a fat ass.
She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Say its name. Whoa! We're warping, guys. We're doing Star Rail Gotcha before Star Rail Gotcha. Wait, no. Did Star Rail come out before or after Fontaine? Probably during.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Ace defective.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
Yes,
I'm
yes
sure
it
you
is.
know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were
Orders
supposed
from
to
who?
place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause
Yo, what's
people
up,
to
Toons?
experience unforgettable
How's it going?
exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
It's not New Genshin. This is last year's story. Like the last version story. Because I am still in the process of catching up.
Ruthlessness.
But because I'm so casual with Genshin, it just takes me a long time.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
The robots. Do you play Genshin at all, by chance?
So, we're just going back now? That's
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
That's absolutely
I know
fair.
you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me, I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time.
Is Limbus? That's fair. I haven't yet to try that, but I've heard it's good.
Of an orphan like me. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Otets?
The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
How do they explain that?
That's right.
Oh, absolutely. P5X is going to be amazing.
Would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died.
I've been playing the Japanese version very casually, like every now and then.
To survive, I took to surreptitiously
Or the Korean version, I mean.
Performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be
awesome.
pretty popular. And we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette
It also
was not
helps
on the
that
same
since
return
we're
vehicle as me.
quote unquote so far,
Waited a
well, not
long
quote unquote,
time after
because
we
we're so
returned
far
home,
behind,
but she
you
did
can
not
look
come
at the
back.
characters in advance
I
and
went to that
save for
noble's
who you
bedroom
want.
and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
I haven't been paying attention to the story because I want to be able to stream it.
She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only
I'll say that the combat is actually very, it's Persona 5 combat. And I was very happy to see that it's just, the gameplay is like stripped down a little bit in term and modified to fit like gacha in terms of like upgrading skills and leveling personas and having stamina to farm XP and shit. But like the core gameplay of exploration and combat is the same, and it's awesome.
It's all right. I understand.
I'm so happy that they didn't change it.
I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house,
Change it that much at
never
least.
stop making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny.
Yo. With the sparks. Oh god.
Hey there.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You pulled right as the trial ended.
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it?
Yeah.
I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
I can't answer that question right now just because I'm dual streaming on to YouTube.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been and given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for—
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that.
Oh, everybody does.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me.
Everybody is. Don't worry about it.
Shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to
No, she
commemorate
is.
our time as partners?
She's like the only one.
Do we really need to get that formal?
She is considered a scab, aka the people that
Well, I just like
the
to have a
the
proper
people
ending to every important memory.
that are striking
No regrets later.
use scab like derogatory because you're going against the strike. She is also being a scab, but to her, because it's medical reasons that she needs to work or whatever to live, like if the other people voicing don't need jobs to live, like it's Paimon's voice actress has been crashing out. You can there's a bunch of videos about it. It's insane.
And head to the Hotel de Boer. I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Yo, we're getting food. Yo, we can go to the fountain. Right, yeah, don't act like you're above people. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no, that was what I wanted. All right, guys. Right here. Right here. Let's go! Please.
Well met. I'm Escoffier Patissiere Supreme.
We did it!
Master
Woo!
of Precision Gastronomy. As an esteemed guest of the divine, you deserve the finest cuisine Teyvat has to offer. I hope my work is to your satisfaction. If you have an interest in the culinary arts, allow me to introduce you to the wonderful world of haute cuisine. I just hope you're mentally prepared for the undertaking. I don't tolerate a quitter.
That was a whole ass fucking essay, bro. Okay, now I save for Skirk. I'm sorry, Rosaria. I don't need you anymore. Who did I give your artifacts I was gonna use? I don't remember. I don't remember who I gave her stuff to. Wait. Did I give it to you? No. You? No. I didn't give it to anybody. Okay, that's annoying, but I can figure it out. Yo, what's up, Jelly? I think we want this. It's a SAG-AFTRA strike. Basically, long story short, I recommend watching Mujin's video about it. But long story short, it was initially everyone was saying it was about AI, but once people were hearing that the contract was trying to get Hoyoverse to be exclusively only working with SAG-AFTRA, it kind of was becoming a bigger thing. Oh. I'm sorry, Rosario. See, I'm just super nervous if I'm not going to be able to get Skirk now. That's the only thing. Really? That's crazy. While we're at it. And now we save.
ready to spice things up.
Actually, there we go. Yo,
I came here
cutscene.
several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first.
I guess I'll have to try and Omega grind this so I can try and get as many pulls as possible.
Everything looks so good.
But we don't even know for sure that she's drip marketed, so as far as I know.
Go ahead, try whatever
Let's
you
find
like.
out.
If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right?
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? I didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist.
Highfalutin folk, that is a phrase.
Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Ipolufon Fo. If I said that right. But that, what the fuck is that?
We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
Oh, highfalutin. There. Right here.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long
No,
line of people
the first
waiting to
U
meet
is
Lady
gone.
Farina.
You don't need that first U after the A.
You missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well,
Yeah.
would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Pompous or pretentious?
That's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well,
Just say pompous.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you
Although
think?
she wouldn't be a mob boss if she didn't use highfalutin.
This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let
Jesus
her
Christ,
go back to
Navia,
sleep
what the
until
fuck?
she
That's
answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean
For sure.
that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to... Why don't we give it a try after this?
She does, yeah. She was just criticizing Nouvelette for calling her out.
Did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink?
Nah, you're good, man. You're good, man. Take it easy. Do your homework. Write your essays for college. You know, do what you gotta do. Take it easy. Get some rest. I appreciate you stopping by in general.
No, it's fine. We're just
Have a good night, man. Take it easy.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty.
Is that so?
Right?
Well,
I gotta do an essay. I gotta do 2 essays, and then I have to work on my final project. For my,
We're stuffed.
my project.
Treat, Navia.
My class.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Okay.
Yeah, best of luck, man. Take it easy.
This month, we're
I like how Paimon is too lazy to walk. Or not too lazy. She's too good to walk, but not good enough to complain about floating.
nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Alright, I think this is where we're gonna call it for the night. You know, right at the start of the next act. I think that's a good stopping point. For at least the story. I'll quick spend my stamina real quick on some XP. One last thing just to kill like 2 minutes. Because now I have a character to build. I have a team to build, actually. Because everybody but... so I gotta build Escoffier and Xingqiu, and then I have to farm artifacts for Skirk, if I can even get Skirk. Yeah, so I've got my work cut out for me. But first, let's farm some XP. We'll do this.
Like royal hands where I can see 'em. Drop your weapons. Final warning.
Hunt them down.
Light of the blazing sun.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
Stop right there.
Loaded.
Which must go on.
Rise with the sun.
Oz, reveal. You asked for it. Drop your weapons. Stop right there. Drop your weapons.
Shoot on sight. I can still.
She does. She's so cool. It just is really unfortunate that she is directly power crept by the cow lady. Yeah, but she is quite literally the thickest character in the game. And her whole gameplay loop is booty bombing or butt bombing people. I will show you. Attack, yeah. What the fuck did I get for mail? Some food? I don't eat food in this. Yeah, Clorand is infinitely cooler than she is cooler. She's got more aura, but Baressa is like thick and juicy, as they call it. I'm gonna have to scoot this team over. Too bad you can't just slide teams over. You can actually. Peek. All right. I'm sorry, Mavuika. Actually, no, I'm not. There. For now. For now. Do I farm XP or do I farm just material? That's the question. See what I have for... Okay, that I gotta save for pulls. And then we end... We always... This is how I end whenever I'm playing Genshin. When I'm done and I'm about to hop off, I'll show you what I do every single time. Especially if it's the last time I'm playing for the day. So we go here. We top off. So I either use the Varessa team or this team. Lately I've been using Varessa because she has a faster sprint. So when I'm just running around, it's faster because there's usually something up here. And then I go right here, right in front of it. And then I leave the game. That is how I end playing Genshin. And the same thing, I do it in Zenless as well. I've showed you Arc that, where every time I'm done with the game for the last time of the night or the day, I leave right in front of the place that is like the daily check-in thing, because then I can just do it right away. But all right, thank you so much for hanging out, guys. You're gonna get pinged in the Discord server because this is also being streamed on YouTube, so you guys are gonna see this. I did upload a video today. Let me see if that actually posted in the Discord. If it did, I would appreciate if you guys just let it play and then leave a like, feed the algorithm. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.